All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We're looking at what is absolutely, hands down, the ultimate scientific anomaly, a fully verified 15th century manuscript that is quite literally laughed in the face of the world's best cryptographic minds, brilliant linguists, and yeah, even our most advanced modern supercomputers. Look, for those of us in the trenches, researchers, data scientists, problem solvers, this isn't just some dusty old book. It's the ultimate stress test for modern analytical methods. So, here's our roadmap. We'll start with the MS-408 anomaly problem itself, run through the historical and physical parameters, and do a structural analysis of the unknown script. Then we'll critique past decryption approaches, introduce a radical methodological paradigm shift, and finally, look at the future: global interdisciplinary knowledge work. Section 1. The MS-408 anomaly problem. Beneath that completely unassuming vellum cover you're seeing lies about 240 pages of incredibly fluid handwriting. But here's the kicker. It's written in an alphabet found literally nowhere else on Earth. Right now, it's locked away securely in a vault at Yale University's Beinecke Library. The absolute finest codebreakers from 2 world wars couldn't decipher a single syllable of it. It's entirely real, heavily verified, and yet completely unreadable. Moving to Section 2, Historical and Physical Parameters. Let's ground ourselves in the hard facts. Radiocarbon dating of the parchment firmly puts its creation between 1404 and 1438. Add in the material analysis of the iron gall ink and mineral pigments, and well, we can definitively say this is not a modern forgery. Now, its early life is a total blank. There's a rumor floating around that Holy Roman Emperor Rudolf II bought it, but honestly, there's zero hard evidence for that. The very first solid historical footprint we have is from 1639, involving a Prague alchemist named George Barish who owned it and was practically begging scholars to decode it. After that, it vanished into Jesuit libraries for over 2 centuries, until book dealer Wilfrid Voynich bought it in 1912, which is where it gets its famous modern name. Eventually, since no one could read it or sell it, it was donated to Yale in 1969 for permanent scientific archiving. Section 3. Structural Analysis of the Unknown Script. Now, you really have to look at the structural anomalies here. On one hand, we have the botanical section, featuring hundreds of drawings of roots, leaves, and flowers that, bizarrely, don't match any known biological species. On the other hand, the astronomical section gives us these insane, intricate circular diagrams, suns, moons, and strange zodiac symbols. But notice the text itself. See how it flows and tightly wraps around the illustrations? It's not just random scribbles. It exhibits highly consistent statistical regularities. It behaves, mathematically speaking, just like a real language, which is our strongest proof that we aren't just looking at random gibberish. And the sheer variation in layout is just wild. Take a look at the balneological or biological section. You've got these tiny naked female figures bathing in green pools, interconnected by what looks like archaic plumbing tubes. Contrast that with the recipe section. These are just dense, text-only pages where every paragraph is meticulously bulleted by little stars. But here's the fascinating part. Despite these wildly different visual layouts, the entire thing is bound by an unbreakable underlying linguistic structure that stays incredibly consistent from page to page. It's like a highly organized dataset. Which brings us to Section 4, Critique of Historical Decryption Approaches. So why has everyone failed? Well, critically speaking, we usually see 3 major historical theories. 1, it's a lost or constructed language. 2, it's a massive, complex cipher hiding a known language. Or 3, it's a highly refined hoax, just meaningless glossolalia meant to look important. But as we just discussed, the statistical math makes the hoax theory highly improbable. So what's the common denominator in all these failed attempts? Almost everyone has treated the manuscript purely phonetically. They're trying to map traditional sounds and letters to these weird glyphs. And frankly, that phonetic assumption, it's led researchers down a 600-year dead end. Section 5, Methodological Paradigm Shift, Geometry. This is where we desperately need a methodological pivot. Instead of stubbornly trying to read letters as phonetic sounds, an emerging hypothesis, known as the Fontana-Lüth Method, proposes something radically different: pure geometry. This approach sets aside words completely and treats the script almost like a scientific instrument. We're talking about mathematically measuring the angles, the anchor points, and the proportions of every single glyph. Now, to be clear, this is still an open hypothesis. It's not a claim that the manuscript is solved today, but it is exactly the kind of out-of-the-box, interdisciplinary thinking we need right now. shifting our lens from traditional linguistics over to geometry, mathematics, and natural science. Finally, Section 6, Global Interdisciplinary Knowledge Work. To actually execute a paradigm shift of this magnitude, we need a brand new sociological framework for our research. This is where Voynich AI Talk comes into play. It proposes a completely open, free community where the whole world finally gets a seat at the table. We're talking about crowdsourcing raw human intellect and supercharging it with modern computational tools. It's a total game changer. The ethos here is absolutely crucial for advancing real science. No gatekeeping, zero discrimination. It's all about global collaboration and interdisciplinary synergy. Look, whether you're a tenured professor of cryptography, a data scientist, a botanist, or just a highly motivated autodidact who literally stumbled onto this mystery today, there is only one rule. Think out loud and share your wildest ideas respectfully. In this space, academic degrees just don't matter. The pure merit of your idea is the whole shebang. The whole spirit behind this empowers every single thinker out there to become an active, contributing researcher. By combining diverse human intuition with modern interdisciplinary tools like AI, data modeling, and geometric analysis, we can tackle a puzzle that ultimately belongs to all of us. No idea is ever silenced just because it sounds a little too out there. So I want to leave you with this one final open question. For 6 centuries, the absolute greatest minds have looked at this manuscript and tried to read it like a standard book. But what if the person who finally cracks it isn't some famous codebreaker at all? What if the answer has just been sitting there, waiting for someone to stop reading the letters and start measuring the shapes? I highly encourage you to join the Voynich AI Talk community. Bring your unique background to the table. Let's solve the greatest unsolved mystery in the scientific world together.